So what happens if the universe matches you up with someone who's a match to the highest vibration that you've been consistently holding, and that, I guess it's just not up to you whether that person is the person that you're currently in a relationship with, or whether that person is someone else?
Well, the only reason that that could be is if the universe has matched you up to something that isn't what you're really reaching for and what you really want, because what's in your vortex is. What's in that high-flying vortex that you've been accumulating and creating and evolving for all of these lifetimes. If what you say has happened, you're not on that disc, you're on one of those other discs. Because the universe is always matching you up with what's predominant with you. And sometimes it's helpful to have something like that happen in order to sharpen your resolve to focus yourself emotionally. That's really what this whole conversation's about. When we're talking about focusing yourself vibrationally, we're talking about focusing yourself emotionally. And you just can't leave the emotion out of it. And so this is the most significant thing that we'd like to say to all of you relative to the subject of relationships. The path of least resistance to the relationship that you want is not on the topic of that relationship. We'll say it again. If you have a relationship that you want, and maybe you've identified the individual, and maybe it's conceptual, the path of least resistance is clearer. The pipes are more open when you're appreciating your walk in nature, or you're enjoying the beauty of your planet, or you are savoring this delicious meal that you are eating, or you are listening to the magnificent music that is turning you inside out, or you have meditated yourself into a place of non-thought. In other words, the path of least resistance isn't on that efforting toward that end that you seek, because that end that you seek has already been established. So your singular work is to open up the path of least resistance, and you do that by doing stuff that feels good to you. So if you heard us right, that means no one should go to work tomorrow. Now, we don't really mean that, but we'd like you to find ways to make your work a path of lesser resistance too. But anything that is causing you to bind up, to clog up, to slow down, to complain, anything that's evoking conversation from you that doesn't feel good to you while you're speaking it, those are indicators that you've got your path of least resistance clogged up with other things. And you don't need to do that. That's the thing that's so interesting. You don't need to do that. We think we've convinced you for the most part that you don't need to do that. Now you've just got to figure out how you're going to spend your day. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, the way we would do it is we'd start it out as best we could, and if we find ourselves falling to a lower vibration, we just laugh about it and say, well, something like, isn't that the way it goes? And I'm in the process of doing a better job of maintaining my frequency there. And maybe in some sense I'm crashing and burning a little bit, but at least I'm doing it consciously, and that's a really good thing. Now, is there anything that I could do right now that would make me feel better right now? And sometimes there is something that you could do right then and now that would make you feel better.
What if it's that you want to be, that it's easier to get in the vortex when you're alone? But then that rocks the boat in terms of the relationship, saying like, you know, I'll call you in.
Well, the fact of it is, if you understand what we've been saying here today, then you could, in your most loving terms, say to your partner, I love you so much that I'm not going to spend any time with you today.
Yes.
Because I'm tuning myself to being my best.
Yeah.
Relative to this, relative to everything. And now there are other ways of saying that. You put me on lower disc because it's not good for us.
Right.
Or I fly higher when I'm not with you.
Right.
Or when I first met you, it looked like we were going to fly high, but now I've gotten to know you. My mind isn't strong enough to overcome the reality of you. It's easier for me to live a very conditional love with you, because if you would change just these 27 things about yourself, then I could spend more time with you. But since you seem to think that you have the freedom to choose for yourself, and you aren't willing to be everything that I need you to be, then I've got more work to do. Or you could say, now, you could say all of those things, and then don't say any of those things. Don't say any of those things. But you've been thinking a lot of those things, haven't you? Or you could say, it is my powerful intention to be in the highest alignment as I move into our relationship. And you make it easy for me at some times and not so easy at others, but ultimately I don't want to make it about you, I want to make it about me. So I'm just going to tune myself as best I can so we can have the most fun that we can have. And most others would like hearing that from you, because the opposite is what they're usually hearing. You need to do something different than what you're doing so that I can feel better. And believe me, you want me to feel better. That's mostly what people are saying. Where what you want to say is, believe me, you want me to feel better, and I'm taking complete responsibility for me feeling better. And it'll be better for you if just me and me goes off and does that for a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
That's basically what you're saying.
Excellent.
Yeah.